Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing tonight? I believe you are all doing amazing. I'm doing fabulous here in Houston, Texas. It's good to have you and to be with you on this broadcast. It's amazing to have you here tonight. I want to welcome you to Reading You to Sleep, the Midnight Hour. Thank you for tuning in. Um, Again, the purpose for this midnight broadcast is to help read you to sleep. In other words, give you some things to think about rather than allowing the enemy to hijack your mind and tell you all the things that is not true about who you are and what you are. And so tonight, last night I started to read one of my books, Breaking Free from Takers and Manipulators, Guarding Your Light. And we are in chapter 2 of the book. You can get a copy on Amazon. I strongly recommend it. Will be a blessing to you. They call it the Black Book. So let's go on. In chapter 2, it says recognizing and guarding against takers. After the initial shock of recognizing a taker in your life comes a more important phase, which is learning how to guard yourself against them. It is not enough to simply name a taker. You must understand their behavioral patterns, how they operate, and how to fortify your emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being against their often subtle yet corrosive tactics. In this chapter, we will examine how takers exploit kindness, use guilt as a weapon, and manipulate emotional dynamics to serve themselves, and how you can push back with clarity, strength, and self respect. Who are takers? Understanding their behavioral patterns. Takers are not easy to identify at first. Many appear very generous, kind, and even vulnerable. But time exposes their real strategy. They give just enough to keep the relationship alive, but not enough to make it healthy. Their aim is not connection, it is assumption. And so let's look at some common behavioral patterns of takers. One is selective generosity. Takers may do kind things when it benefits them or when they fear losing your support. Their kindness is very well calculated, not consistent. It's a performance, not a practice. When they realize that you are pulling away, they start to attack you, thinking that will make you stay. Number 2 of the patterns is guilt induction. When you attempt to set boundaries or express needs, they quickly make you feel guilty. They say things like, I thought you were different, Or after all I've been through, after all that I've been through with you, you are now abandoning me. After all I did for you, you want to leave me. Number 3 of the patterns is victimhood as a weapon. Takers often use their struggles as a shield against accountability. They constantly position themselves as the victim. They avoid responsibility for the imbalance they have created. Number 4 is their emotional amnesia. Takers conveniently forget the sacrifices you've made, especially when you need something in return. You will hear, I don't remember you doing that for me, or you are just trying to make me feel bad. The 5th point from the patterns of takers. Yes, sir. Pastor Kwame, welcome to the broadcast. And Kweku Albert. Oh, wow. Kweku, it's been a long time. Good to see you. Number 5 of the patterns is crisis-driven connection. They only reach out during emergencies. And once they get what they want, they disappear again until the next crisis. These patterns can leave you in a loop of caretaking, questioning your own wealth, and hoping that your compassion will one day be recognized. But takers are not changed by your hope. They are only changed by their own willingness, which more than often never comes. So, how do takers exploit generosity, guilt, and emotional manipulation? If you are watching, you are welcome to Reading You to Sleep, the midnight hour. One of the greatest strengths of empathetic people is generosity. Unfortunately, it's also one of the greatest vulnerabilities when placed in the hands of a taker. Takers know how to prey on your empathy. They use your desire to help as a leverage. The more you give, the more they expect. When you finally hesitate or ask for something in return, they activate the guilt trip. You are not who I thought you were. Oh, after all that I have done for you, after all that we have been through, after you did this and I forgave you, and now you want to do this. These are all manipulative tricks. They manipulate by twisting your words to make you seem selfish, withholding affection or communication as a punishment. They manipulate by reminding you of their suffering to deflect attention from their selfishness. They manipulate by comparing you unfavorably to others who never complained. Takers use emotional manipulation to keep you in a state of confusion and obligation. You become so wrapped up in managing their emotions that you lose sight of your own needs. And that's exactly where they want you, off balance and over invested. Here are some warnings of a taker, or warning signs of a taker in personal and even professional life. Takers are not limited to personal relationships. They also show up at work, in faith communities, and even in volunteer circles. Recognizing the red flag is in all context is very vital. In personal relationships, these are some of the warning signs. They expect you to listen endlessly, but rarely offer support in return. You feel anxious or drained after interacting with them. Your boundaries are repeatedly violated, ignored, or even dismissed completely. In professional settings, these are some of the signs. They take credit for your work or ideas. They lean on your help without reciprocating when you need assistance. They exploit your work ethic while putting in minimal effort themselves. Now let's look at even in the faith or community spaces. People weaponize spiritual principles like grace, forgiveness, and sacrifice to justify their exploitation of you. They over rely on your volunteerism, expecting you to overextend in the name of service to God. Understanding the terrain is essential. Once you know how takers operate in different spaces, then you can better protect your energy. Let's look at setting and enforcing healthy boundaries with takers. Boundaries are the sacred fences that protect your light, and without them, takers will drain you until there is nothing left. Setting boundaries starts with having clarity, number one. Number two, communication. Number three, consequences. Number four, consistency. Let's look at clarity as a boundary. Be honest with yourselves about what you can and cannot give. Know your limits. Be firm on what you can offer or cannot offer, or else a taker will exploit your vulnerability. Communication. Express your boundaries clearly and assertively. Use I statements. For example, I am not available to talk late nights, or I cannot do that right now, or I can't lend any money right now. Consequence. Boundaries without consequence or consequences are suggestions. Decide what you will do if the boundary is crossed and follow through without feeling guilty. Be consistent. Takers will test your boundaries. They will stand firm on what they want from you. You also have to stand firm. Every time you enforce your limits, you reclaim more of your power. Remember, setting boundaries is not being unkind. Setting boundaries is self-honoring. You are not responsible for someone else's disappointment in your limits. Now let's look at reframing generosity, giving without depleting yourself. True generosity is sustainable. It does not require you to break down so someone else can stand up. There is a proverb in the Nigerian language or culture, and it says that in order to keep somebody down, you have to be down yourself. Meaning, if you want to keep someone down, you have to be down. To lift someone up, you have to be up. What this means is that you can only give what you have. So here are a few reframes to help you give without losing yourself. From obligation to choice. Give because you want to, not because you feel forced to. From martyrdom to mindfulness. Helping others should not come at the expense of your health or peace. From unlimited access to intentional access. Not everyone deserves full access to you. Give in ways that align with your values and capacity. Ask yourself before giving, am I doing this from a place of love or from a place of fear? Will I feel resentful after doing this? Does this action honor both me and the other person? If your answer reveals resentment or imbalance, then pause. You are allowed to preserve your energy. Generosity should not be an overflow. Generosity should be an overflow, not an extraction. When you give from a place of wholeness, your light is not diminished, it is rather extended. But when you give from a place of depletion, even good intentions can lead to bitterness and burnout. As we close this chapter, I want you to remember that your energy is sacred. Your kindness is a gift. Your presence is powerful. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to who you are. Preserving your energy isn't about building walls of bitterness. No. It's about creating gates of wisdom. You can love deeply and give freely, but not to the point of self-erasure. In the next chapters, we will go further into reclaiming your energy, identifying manipulators, and building the inner strength needed to maintain your boundaries with grace and with power. You are not here to be consumed. You are here to shine. And that brings us to the end of chapter 2 of the book, Takers and Manipulators, Guarding Your Light. I'll read one more chapter and we will call it a night. The manipulators, those who twist your kindness. Some of the most dangerous people in our lives are not the ones who openly hurt us, but the ones who twist our kindness into a weapon against us. I feel that. These individuals know how to play on our empathy. They exploit your compassion and manipulate your decisions while maintaining a mask of innocence or even affection. But these are the manipulators. Manipulators don't always shout, demand, or threaten. In fact, the most effective ones, they rarely do. They whisper, they imply, they suggest, and before you know it, you are questioning your own instincts, sacrificing your own needs, and living in a loop of confusion and guilt. Confusion and guilt. Their weapon isn't power, it's persuasion, clogged in intimacy, very close to you. And so it is hard to know what they are doing. Again, this is the Midnight Hour reading you to sleep. And I'm reading from the book Breaking Free from Takers and Manipulators, chapter 3, the manipulators, those who twist your kindness. Guarding your light means learning how to stop these patterns early, reclaim your autonomy, and stop allowing others to rewrite your story for their comfort. When I begin to yawn, then it means I'm reading my own self to sleep now. Signs of manipulation: guilt tripping, playing the victim, and emotional blackmail. Manipulators are masters of emotional sleight of hand or sleight of hand. Here are a few hallmarks, tactics that they use. Guilt tripping. Manipulators love using your sense of responsibility against you. They say things like, after everything I've done for you, or I guess I just don't matter to you anymore. These phrases are designed to trigger your conscience, not your compassion. Their goal is not to resolve the conflict or express hurt, but to make you feel bad enough to comply with their wishes. Number 2, they play the victim. Even when they are the ones causing the harm, manipulators often twist the narrative to make themselves the injured party. They exaggerate their suffering, downplay your pain, and shift the blame subtly. If you try to address a boundary, they respond with hurt feelings and fabricated stories of how you are the one being unfair. They emotionally blackmail you. This is manipulation's cruelest tool. It sounds like, if you really love me, you will do this for me. Or, I'm not sure I can go on if you leave me. These statements aren't really expressions of emotion, they are levers to control your behavior through fear, obligation, and even shame. Over time, these tactics chip away at your clarity and your confidence. Then you begin to doubt your right to even say no. You hesitate before speaking up. You walk on eggshells. And the worst part, you may even feel responsible for the manipulator's emotional state. Here are some of the subtle ways that manipulators control your decisions. Manipulators don't often demand control outright. Instead, they influence you in a very subtle, insidious ways. 1, they frame your choices as betrayals. Want to spend time alone? You are abandoning them. Need to prioritize your work? You are selfish. They distort your reality. When you express discomfort, they tell you you are too insensitive or misremembering. This tactic, called gaslighting, is used to make you doubt your perception. They make their love conditional. Affection is withdrawn when you resist their influence. You are punished with coldness, withdrawal, or silent treatment until you come back in line. They create dependency. They may subtly isolate you from others, discourage independence, or make you feel incapable without their input. Over time, you find yourself seeking their approval for every decision. And these methods are often wrapped in the language of love, of concern, of wisdom. That's what makes them so dangerous. You begin to feel like they know what's best for you, but the truth is, they know what is best for them. And they will twist your choices to serve their own needs, even at your expense. Let's look at a quick, real story. Tina had a best friend, Jasmine, who constantly leaned on her for emotional support. Every time Tina tried to talk about her own struggles, Jasmine redirected the conversation or responded with, "You think that's bad? Let me tell you what I am going through." When Tina attempted to take space or assert a boundary, Jasmine would cry and say, "I thought we were best friends. I guess you don't care about me anymore." After years of guilt driven loyalty, Tina reached a breaking point. She began therapy, where she learned the importance of reciprocal friendship and emotional boundaries. Eventually, she had a conversation with Jasmine where she expressed her need for mutual support. Jasmine reacted with blame and silence, and Tina knew it was time to let go. It was a painful separation, but it was freeing. Let's look at Marcus's story. Marcus grew up in a household where his mother manipulated his choices through guilt. Through guilt. If he didn't visit her every weekend, she'd say, "You must not love your mother anymore." When he expressed a desire to move to another state for a job opportunity, she threatened to stop speaking to him. For years, Marcus felt torn between his dreams and his duty to his mother. But one day, he realized he was building his life around her approval, not his purpose. So he made the hardest decision to prioritize his own growth. She was furious at first, but Marcus held firm. In time, he learned that freedom sometimes comes with the price of disappointing others, even the people we love. And that's okay. So, this is to, let me pause and make a comment here. This is to all of you listening to me or who will watch this later, right? The price of freedom requires sometimes disappointing the people that are very close to us, and it's okay. So tonight, if you are having a sleepless night because somebody in your life is giving you a sleepless night, I'm not here to bring separation to people and their loved ones or their family. But truth be told, sometimes the cost of freedom is to let them go. It does not depict hatred. It just means that you have come to a place where you know that you have to choose you. Let's read on to one last story. Deja. Deja was in a romantic relationship where her partner constantly made her feel responsible for his moods and his addictions. If he had a bad day, it was because she didn't show him enough love. If Deja was upset because he was wasting all their income on his addiction, he would scream up and wouldn't speak for days. Her entire sense of safety became tied to avoiding confrontation and accepting his addictive behavior. After confiding in a close friend, Deja started recognizing the patterns of emotional manipulation. She created a plan to safely exit the relationship, leaning on her support network. Today, Deja advocates for emotional awareness and teaches young women how to spot those red flags in relationships. These stories show us that manipulation thrives in silence. Mm, mm. That's a good one. But the moment you start speaking your truth and honoring your boundaries, you shift the power dynamic. You take your light back. Let's see how you can set yourself free. Awareness and action. You cannot change a manipulator, but you can change your response to them. And the key lies in the following: recognizing the tactic without making excuses for them. Trusting your intuition even when others try to discredit it. Practicing clear communication and saying no without explanation or apology, and limiting access to people who consistently manipulate your emotions. The more you honor your truth, the more resilient you become to emotional trickery. Manipulators rely on your confusion, they rely on your silence, they rely on your quietness. Clarity is your superpower, and that's what we intend to give you tonight, even as you lay on your bed. Now, let's look at the last paragraph, and we'll call it a night. Reframing your kindness. Being kind does not mean being compliant. Manipulators thrive on your goodness because they know they are able to sense, they know you don't want to hurt others, and certainly not them. They use that against you. But healthy kindness includes boundaries. It understands that not everyone is entitled to your time, your energy, or your emotions. Kindness is saying, I care about you, but I can't continue this conversation right now. I care about you, but I can't continue this relationship right now. Choosing honesty over appeasement. Valuing yourself enough to walk away when your peace is compromised. Remember, protecting your energy is not unkind, it's responsible. And when you stand in your truth, others, and when you stand in your truth, you give others permission to do the same, especially some of us who are leaders. Here are some practical exercises. I want you to take a moment to sit or to lay as you are slowly going to bed. And I want you to write this down if you can, or just think about it. It's a few questions, so if you can type them on your phone, that will be good. I know you are trying to put yourself to sleep. But recall a time when someone manipulated you. What words or tactics did they use to sway your decision? How did their manipulation make you feel emotionally, physically, and even spiritually? Yes, I want you to recall. We are doing this so that you can set yourself free, so that you can let the bitterness go, you can let the hurt go, and for once, you can have clarity of mind, so that you can set yourself free. What warning signs did you ignore at the time? How could you have responded differently if they even gave you the chance to do that? And finally, what did you learn about yourself from that experience? As you write or as you think about them, I want you to be gentle with yourself. This is not a moment of condemnation. It is not a moment of being hard on yourself. Somebody said something powerful. He said that the way you treat yourself, the way you are hard on yourself, if you treated your friends that way, you probably would not have any friends left. Meaning, you have to show yourself some empathy, right? It is that empathetic nature of yours that has made these manipulators and takers thrive in your life. But coming to this realization does not mean you become hard on yourself. So, again, the goal is to be gentle on yourself. You are not supposed to judge yourself. This is not a moment of judging yourself or your past, but for you to learn from it. Every manipulative encounter teaches you something valuable about your own boundaries, your needs, and your strength. I have a very powerful book coming next month, and the title is Timeless. Timeless. The lessons that time teaches about illusion, truth, and mortality. You must find that book anywhere you can find it. It will come out next month. Every manipulative encounter teaches you something. I think this is what brought that book to mind. As we continue in this journey of guarding your light against takers and manipulators, remember this. You have the right to protect your peace. Yes, you. As you lay down on your bed and tossing back and forth, trying to sleep, it is because peace has eluded you. It is because somebody has taken advantage of your light. It is because somebody has sown a seed that is bothering you. And I want you to know that you are responsible for protecting your light and your peace. You have the right to question others' intentions. You have the right to say no, even if it disappoints the very people that you love. Manipulators lose their power the moment you begin to trust yourself. Your light is sacred. Keep it guarded, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. You are not here to be used. Rather, you are here to shine. And so go on and keep shining. Go on and let your light continue to shine. And this is the midnight hour, reading you to sleep. We have come to the end of tonight's broadcast. If you are not sleepy yet, you can go back and read or listen to the replay, and I know that it will be a blessing to you. That's the end of or I'm going to end the reading of this. I'll give you a couple of chapters all the time. Tomorrow, God willing, I'll come to you with another one of my books, maybe The Law of Choice. I think I'll read to you The Law of Choice, and you can get any copy of my book on Amazon. Just type my name, Vincent Opon, and you should be able to find all the books. This year, my goal was to write a book every single month. I've done 6 books. We are in the 7th month. The 7th book will come this maybe next week or so, or by the end of the month. The 7th book will be here. It's called You Are the Purpose. Then next month, August, the 8th book. So I'm busy working on these projects to be able to pour into the vessels that God has placed in our life. So without much ado, thank you so much for tuning in to the midnight hour, reading you to sleep. And this is your brother Vincent Opon. I put on my pajamas because I'm also going to bed. I love you, and I'll see you, God willing, tomorrow. Have a good night.